Hey everyone, my name is Cryptic D Athena, and today I want to talk about GrandLineReview's new video. The new type of devil fruit is already here. This is a very interesting video for a couple of different reasons. Mainly because he talks about the three arguably weirdest devil fruits in the series that I completely forgot about, I'm not gonna lie. First of all, we have the Tamatama no Mi that what's his name? Tamago uses. It's the egg fruit. You remember the egg fruit, where you have an eggshell on your body, and if you get harmed in any way, you reform into a chicken and then into a rooster. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I completely forgot about this guy. I'm gonna be honest. All right. And then the next one we have is Karasu, who has that crow fruit that acts like a logia, but he produces crows instead of like an element. And then of course we have Katakuri, which I don't have a page open for him, so I'm not going to talk about him as much as Karasu or the egg fruit. But everybody knows about Katakuri, okay? You can see him on the screen. Catapus. Yes, that's perfect. Okay. So, what GrandLineReview talks about in this video is how they all share aspects. All those fruits I just talked about. The Tamatama, the crow fruit, and Katakuri's Moshi fruit. He talks about how they all have similar abilities to each other, or similar aspects from other devil fruits. With the Tamatama fruit, it is I believe it's actually a paramecia? No, it's unclassified, but it has aspects from, you could argue for all three classes of devil fruit, but I believe what GrandLineReview says is paramecia and zone, because obviously you have the weird activation of the ability, which is the paramecia aspect, and then you have the zone aspect where he can turn into an animal, which is a chicken. So that's a very interesting ability. You could also say that when Tamago gets slashed and he turns into that like weird egg goop, you could also argue that's a Logia aspect. Whether or not that's true, we have yet to know. But that's a very interesting find by our boy GrandLineReview. The next thing, the crow fruit, is it's a fruit that uses aspects from Zone and Logia exclusively, it seems, where the Zone part is that it has the crow animal in the fruit. But the Logia aspect is that his body becomes crows instead of an element, which I think is really, really interesting. And finally, we have Katakuri, who is just a paramecia that acts like a Logia as well. I just want to throw this out there that I always thought that Katakuri's Logia powers were because he could see the future and stop people from harming him in a way that, if you can predict the future, no one's ever going to be able to hit you, theoretically. No one's ever going to be able to hit you because you can transform into whatever power you have. But apparently that's not the case. Apparently other paramecias can't do that, and I was big stupid brain when I was first watching this video. I was talking to myself and I was like, can't all paramecias similar to Katakuri, such as Mr. 3 or Magellan, do similar things to him? No, they can't. They actually cannot. Okay, but anyways, all three of those fruits are very, very unique, and GrandLineReview says that they are probably the fourth type of devil fruit. Whatever they are called, we don't know. I would like to say that what I think these fruits are just overlapping devil fruits. And that the name of them will probably be something in Japanese, or another word that means overlap or combination, perhaps even a hybrid. Maybe, ooh, you know what? You know how there are so many types of chimera fan-made fruits? Chimera devil fruits. What if the fourth class of devil fruits are just chimera fruits? I mean, what we got? Paramecia, Zone, Logia, Chimera. That works so well. Chimera devil fruits. Instead of having an actual chimera creature, the devil fruit itself pulls from different aspects of all other devil fruits. I can't believe I just came up with that right now. I think that's it. I think I just cracked the case. I cracked the Tama egg fruit. You know what I mean? I cracked the code. Oh my goodness. Okay. But I have other things that I want to talk about. But I can't remember what I wanted to talk about. Oh my god. Wait. So, first things first. The classifications of devil fruits, in my opinion. Firstly, Logias are specifically fruits that allow you to become and manipulate a fantasy element. Fire, water, grass, or light and darkness, Zones are just animal fruits of whether that be mythological creatures, figureheads, or ancient animals. Normal animals or ancient people / creatures. And finally, Paramecias. I do like that. I do like Liam. I'm just going to call him Liam from here on out. Good old GrandLineReview Liam says that Paramecias are anything that isn't a Logia or a Zone. And that's very funny. However, I would also like to throw out there the idea that Paramecias are fruits that can produce or make your body into a non-fantasy element or into a non-animal. I think it's very specific, but it checks out with every Paramecia there is. To go over it again, Logias are fruits that specifically turn you into a fantasy element. Zones specifically turn you into some type of animal, whether it be mythical, ancient, or normal. And then Paramecias turn you into... No. Paramecias can let you manipulate, produce, or become something that isn't a fantasy element or an animal. And that's the classification of devil fruits. I think that's like if you wanted a more deep idea of what devil fruit classifications are, that's what I would say in conjunction with this idea that GrandLineReview brought up today. So, with all of that out of the way, I think GrandLineReview is onto something. I think he's onto something with this whole overlapping devil fruits. And I'm starting to think that I'm onto something with calling them chimera fruits. Because here's another strange thing. We haven't seen a chimera fruit yet. Chimeras are one of the most famous creatures. And, Of all the places in One Piece, you would think Wano we would have a chimera fruit, because a chimera is some type of animal type of thing. But we have had allusions to chimeras. We had that chimera beast in Impel Down. Whether or not it's strange that we have seen a chimera fruit or not is besides the point. We're gonna very likely, I would say that it's very likely that a chimera fruit exists, even if this fourth category of devil fruits is called chimera fruits. I like the sound of it next to Logia, Paramecia, Zone. Like, all four of them lined up together. Logia, Paramecia, Zone, Chimera. That has a nice ring to it. I don't know. I think I might be onto something. But I don't know if there's much else I want to talk about, because I think, if you haven't seen this video, go watch this video. It's amazing. Okay, now hold on. I just have one other thing that I want to talk about. I want to talk about what GrandLineReview classifies the fruits as in this video. Let me see if I can find the... Okay, here we go. So, GrandLineReview has his Venn diagram of all the three characters that he talks about. Paramecia, Zone, Logia. And he has Paramecia. He has Tamago in between Paramecia and Zone. He has Karasu between Zone and Logia. And then he has Katakuri between Paramecia and Logia. I think, personally, I have something to say about this. First of all, I don't think it's wrong. I think that Tamago might actually be, like, you see that space in the middle of the Venn diagram? If he's gonna go anywhere, I would put him in the middle, just as a sort of like a mix of all three of things. But it's obviously he can't like control the egg yolk he comes from, like a Logia, but he just becomes it. So I would put him in the middle of this Venn diagram, and that's like the only change I would ever make to this. But on the overall, this is a perfect Venn diagram and representation of what these new chimera fruits are. Because if you look at Katakuri, it's stated to be a Paramecia. And oh, that's another thing. Since I personally believe that Logias are a fantasy element, specifically turns you into a fantasy element, fire, water, grass. And because that Katakuri is a type of food Paramecia, it makes sense that his devil fruit would be a Paramecia and not a Logia, because it's not a fantastical element. And it's not like you're going to find mochi in the natural world. With every other Logia, you could find them in the natural world. But with Katakuri, it's mochi. It's a type of ice cream. You make ice cream. You don't find it in the world. So that makes sense as to why he's a Paramecia. As to why he's a Logia, it's because he could become mochi. And that makes sense. For Karasu, the reason why he's a Zone and a Logia is because he has the ability to turn into several animals. He becomes animals. He doesn't become an animal. He becomes animals. Plural. So that's why he's a Logia and a Zone. I'm sure, like, if Karasu, one of his abilities, probably he can turn into a crow of some kind, but I don't think it's like he becomes the animal. He can probably use that as a technique, but I don't think it's... His basic ability is he becomes a murderer of crows. And then back to Tamago. The reason why he's a zone is because he can turn into an animal, but the way to get to the animal form is by an activation, a weird activation that paramecias have. Because, you know, you have weird paramecia activations like Cracker, Commander Cracker. He claps his hands and he creates the crackers. I don't remember if that's like a specifically something he has to do. But if you look at Luffy, for example, he has to activate Gear 2 by pumping his blood. He has to activate Gear 3 by blowing up his bones. He has to activate Gear 4 by combining both of those things. And Hockey. So, stands to reason that the reason why Tamago is a paramecia and zone combination is because he has to activate his fruit in a weird way. And with that, I think that's everything for this video. If you haven't seen this video by GrandLineReview, go check it out. It's absolutely amazing. I really loved it. And I hope that you loved my idea that maybe the fourth category of devil fruits are chimera fruits. Chimera in that they are a combination of each other and not actual creatures. And I hope that you think that I hope that you agree with me that chimera fruit sounds good along with paramecia, logia, and zones. Like, those four together, that makes sense to me if there is a fourth category of devil fruits. Oh, and one more thing. So, I don't know who brought this up, but in the video, GrandLineReview talks about how maybe there's a fourth category of devil fruits that were used to combat the other three. And it seems plausible that if there was a chimera fruit combining all kinds of devil fruits as a man-made devil fruit, you could say that maybe the chimera fruits are the man-made devil fruits while everything else is natural. Maybe it's that paramecias and these chimera fruits are the man-made fruits, but I don't want to get too crazy about it. That's everything I got for this video. I hope you all enjoyed my thoughts. Definitely go check out this video, and I'll see you all next time. Have a good day, everyone.